Hello, friends. We are here to discuss Berserk Volume 38. We're nearing not the end, but we're getting current. And so we'll go ahead and start off with introductions, and Varsha is just joining us. So perfect timing. So Dan, will you start us off?
Yeah, I'm Dan. I've read Berserk before, and these are the parts which I'm sort of forgetting a bit because it's been a while since I've read them. But we're discovering them a bit together. Yeah,
that's kind of nice. Yeah, and Joe.
Joe, I've read it before. I've read these volumes sort of recently. I'm an author. I have 5 books out. 6th just went to beta readers.
Nice.
So I can breathe. I crunched this book out ridiculously quickly, and it was all consuming. And now I can breathe. And I won Twitter last week.
You won Twitter?
I won. Wow. I started a Twitter drama so large that it came back to me from more famous people who didn't know who I was.
Wow.
Like, well, I don't know why everyone's talking about this, and I'm like, I know why. I started this one. I was very exciting. It was my peak. I think it was like the high point. I'm like that guy who like wins the state championship. He's like a football quarterback, and nothing he ever does again will ever match that. His whole life is just like, remember that time I won the state championship? That's going to be me forevermore. I remember that day I won Twitter, February 2024, February 19th or so. I'm going to always look back on this. So.
Wow.
Nice.
I'll remember you guys who were with me on the way to the top.
Don't forget us little people out here, yeah. And Varsha.
Hi, I'm Varsha. I run a YouTube channel called Reading by the Rainy Mountain. And yeah, this is my first time reading through Berserk. It was interesting to see a volume that's sort of dedicated to the question that we've been bringing up a few times in the last few episodes.
Definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of Griffin. I'm starting to see where the people that say Griffin did nothing wrong are coming from. I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just saying I know there's like a subset of people that I haven't read or watched their arguments because I don't want to get spoiled. But there seems to be it can't be right? There has to be some kind of trick. It can't be pure. It can't be. I don't know. Well, what did everyone think about this one?
Go ahead, Varsha.
You kind of want to keep saying something, like seeing the cracks in the system. And I suppose there are some that we see towards the end with the demon that's randomly attacking this person that Griffith disagreed with. And I'm not sure if it was super clear or if the demon took it upon himself to go kill the guy. But did Griffith order Rickard to be killed because he knew secrets? No. So the dude just.
I'm not saying no. I don't think we know.
It seems it's suggested that Locust told him because he seemed very angry before. I think someone else also says, "Is Locust sending you to? Is Griffith or is it Locust sending you to kill Rickard?" It could be both, but I think it's suggested.
So one makes sense. So yeah, I guess in some senses they're killing dissension. That's why everything's so peaceful and everybody's so happy with whatever's going on. But yeah, I can see how it's a difficult case to make either way. Of course he did something wrong at the eclipse, but is that enough that he'd never be redeemed no matter what he does from now on? That I guess that's the question that this is bringing up. And one of the things I thought of yesterday when I was thinking about this was that, if he could somehow get into a higher position, let's say, or win a different world or different part of the world that's bigger than the city, whatever, I feel like he'd sacrifice the people of the city, no problem. But does that mess up the period in between when the people are actually happy? And yeah, he's evil, but there are people who are happy under his rule. That's what that is.
Yeah, it seems the system right now seems to be a lot better than what it was before for most people, as far as we've seen.
Yeah, yeah. That seems like it. Mm,
I guess he is a dictator, but you know,
yeah, a kind dictator who's keeping the demons under the wraps. Demons who wouldn't have come into the world if it wasn't for
well,
him.
the apostles were already there, though.
The apostles were already
Yeah,
roaming the world before the
the
eclipse.
apostles have been there with, like, before or from any time, right?
And they were roaming
Yeah, they were
this
killing people, doing
realm.
whatever they
And
wanted, right? They were not, how to say, very hidden in the sense that people thought they were normal people, I guess, but they were still transforming sometimes. Or do you remember, like, there was the leader of that mercenary gang, right? Was going around killing people and whatever, and he was famous for being like superhuman. Yeah, yeah, it's from
is
the
that
very
from the very
beginning, almost
beginning?
from the
Oh.
Golden
The
Age
dog,
arc.
the dog guy,
Yeah,
right? Dog something.
yeah, and Zod was like famous for defeating like entire army or something like that. So
Yeah,
So
that
I was
makes
a little bit
sense.
confused about that because I wasn't sure if the demons that were there that Griffin was keeping busy, that they were fighting each other, were those the people from the eclipse that were transformed into demons?
I think they just gather for the eclipse
Oh, okay.
from anywhere, I guess.
That's what the world building doesn't fully make sense. Like, because if you look back at the Golden Age arc, most people didn't think demons were real.
Yeah,
If these guys were rampaging around the countryside, eating people, all these guys, and the numbers that we see them at now, it feels like more people would have noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, there was Zod, and yeah, there was the dog guy,
why
but like
that?
there weren't that. It seemed like people were like still shocked. Oh my god! Like when Zod transformed, everyone was like you. So it doesn't quite work for me, but it's okay. Like maybe they were all over the world and they all
Maybe,
came to
yeah.
Griffith's banner, and it's from a much larger area. Maybe there were a bunch that were like kind of half asleep. Like you can come up with stories.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it fully makes sense, but that's okay.
Maybe most of them are not as powerful either as those two, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they're just, oh, there's like a serial killer around this area or something, right? People
Yeah.
disappearing, but nothing more than that.
Or they were less powerful before like one of these more recent events, and it like gave them all a buff.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
I'm just glad that what's his name is back. The wizard, the high sorcerer, and he's all like cute, and everyone,
Yeah, I
all the
know
kids
too.
like him, and I'm just
He's on our side now.
Yeah.
he never seemed like a bad guy. He was like, ooh, like I'll he was perfectly willing to like slaughter thousands, if the emperor asked him to.
Yeah.
Wasn't a bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, there were nameless thousands. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I mean, we're even getting the assassins on our side now. Seems like it.
Yeah. But you wonder what everyone's intentions are, because I thought back to our conversation a few weeks ago about if somebody does something good that benefits you, does it matter what their intentions are? And thinking back, so Griffin has to have some kind of motivation that is not it's self-serving. That's what his. So does it matter that he's providing this city, this safe haven, and this system, and doing all these things for people if he's.
But he created this situation, right? Like he created the world full of monsters that everyone needs protecting from, and like, oh look, here's Falconia, come and I'll protect you. Like, it seems glorious if you're them, but if you knew that he's the reason this all happened, I don't know if it would seem so, altruistic.
Mm-hmm.
But it's even better than before, before the eclipse and everything else, though. It seems to
If
be.
you happen to be in Falconia.
Yes, if you happen to be in Falconia, yes.
it's a big world out there. The implication is that humans who are not in Falconia are not having a good time right now.
True, we haven't seen what's happening outside.
But they've said it, like there are refugees fleeing to Falconia for a reason, and it's not the free healthcare, right? I mean, they definitely say everyone outside the city is like prey to monsters. I don't think they say it in this volume, but they said it a couple volumes ago.
Yeah, I'm thinking because they say everyone got the dream of the Falcon leading Falconia, but I'm like, if you live super far away, like all these people sure live in Europe, let's call it. If you live down in Southeast Asia or something, you need to cross the whole. It's I don't know if, yeah.
I mean, is the equivalent of Southeast Asia just like devoid of human life now because they've been destroyed by monsters? Like, that's a lot of people. What's happening in Kush? Right? Not all of Kush has like emptied out and come to Falconia.
As far as we know, no.
Right. I mean, it couldn't have been, right? The Kush was a whole empire.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Like some of them are in Falconia, but not all of them, right? What happened to all those people? Like they're not having. The implication is they're not having a good time right now.
Yeah.
So,
true. Because we haven't seen it.
Their emperor's not there to protect them. Poor guy.
And if you can even make it to the city, you have to. If you're the journey there would. I mean, how many people would even make it to the city?
Yeah.
It's be almost impossible.
I wonder if we'll get an answer, if we'll see any of the upper areas. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't tell how much is left, so I can't tell. I'd be curious. I'd be curious to know if like that was discussed at any point. But yeah, I have to think that the Griffith did nothing wrong crowd is not thinking about.
Yeah, no.
It's like the people who think the British Empire was a great thing. Like, maybe if you're British.
Yeah.
Maybe. Even that's arguable. But if you're making that argument, you're not thinking about India or like Africa. You're definitely not. Right? So,
I think they're just being edgy, I think.
Yeah. There's that too, right? There's I'll take any villain, and Darth Vader was the cool guy.
Yeah.
People just like that. That pitch. I bet that's more of it. More people being.
Could be. I always, even after the eclipse, it always made like how would anyone make that argument? But I've avoided it because I don't want to know what happens. But
what would be interesting is if the eclipse itself and him sacrificing all his friends had led to a golden age on the planet, which there might be a golden age in Falconia, but it's very localized. But imagine if the whole planet had been improved, then there'd be a weird sort of argument. I don't know.
Maybe his plan is to expand Falconia into a world.
I mean, that's the interesting part. Like, what if it does end up being better for everyone? I mean, because in a way, that's what he wants, right? He wants. I mean, it's selfish, but he wants to be the savior, right? He wants to be that figure. Yeah. He wants to be, and the best way to do that would be to save everybody.
Yeah.
And what if he does? And then what do we? Do we? Yeah. I mean, will Guts forgive him? I think is another interesting question.
I mean, even if it doesn't happen, it's a fun thought experiment, right?
Yeah.
Like, is it possible to redeem yourself from certain things?
Does the end justify the means?
Does the end justify the means? Yeah.
So, I guess you could sort of change up the argument a little bit and say, in our real world, when someone conquers an area, and let's say people in said area are living an objectively better life, and does the reason why they conquered matter? Like, are they trying to make it so the people aren't oppressed anymore, or are they, or I guess most cases it's just I want more area to my empire on the map, right? So if the people live a better life in that case,
you're right.
Am I frozen? No, okay, sorry. Yeah, so if the people live a better life in that case, would you say that it matters why the person did it. Like, I mean, Griffith went to extremes of his ambition, but in some ways he sort of took all these steps to conquer this area, right?
Yeah.
What he did is still
I
heinous, but
mean, history books are full of, bad things happening, and then, historians writing, oh, but this led to all these good things. Like, oh, the Romans conquered half the known world, but, it also brought roads and a lot of other things to everyone. And like, oh, the Mongols murdered 1,000 different cities, but it did lead to a secure route between China and Europe and increased trade and commerce and share of ideas through the Silk Road. Now that it was less dangerous. So
those examples are interesting because they talk about a higher, more abstract level goodnesses that came, things that historians care about, maybe not the people who are actually living during the time. But in this case, apparently the people themselves are happy. Like, does that change things? Does that change how we look at this?
hard to say. But I mean, I don't know. There can you can think of examples in real world where there's been dictators and or harsh dictators, or they got through violence or something like that, but they actually improve their country. Not that many, but there's been a couple. They actually improve the country, make things better for for them. So I don't know. Like, I think Singapore, for example, is the dictatorship, but it's pretty successful and people are pretty happy about it.
Are they, or do they just have to be happy?
Where?
Singapore.
Oh.
Yeah. I've heard people are pretty happy about being rich compared to how it was 50 years ago or something like that. But yeah, I guess if you're on the wrong side of very strict laws, then yeah, you will not be happy.
If you really love gum,
yeah,
you're just screwed.
Yeah, just don't.
No chewing gum.
Was it chewing gum or spitting it out that got him in trouble?
I think both, but I might be wrong.
Oh, okay.
Or if you like weed.
Don't ruin my joke with facts, Steve.
Well, no, either way, it's still funny. It's like,
what's more important?
Whether it's,
more important to be funny than to be accurate.
He may have missed the trash can or something and, got caned.
Why they kicked you
here.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to have an easy answer to this question. But what's interesting is the choice that Muir is making is not to just make Griffith straightforwardly evil. Like, if he was just rampaging on the countryside with his war demons, eating people and raping and just a continuous stream of that, we'd have a different story. And it's interesting that he chose to very much not do that, and he very easily could have. Right? He very easily could have just been like, oh, Griffith's like, oh, all these guys are just, rampaging to the countryside, and this is fun, and they're all following me, so I'm happy. But he very much went a different way. And it makes me wonder what the end's going to be. Like, is the end going to be Guts having conflicted feelings about killing Griffith? And then if he does have the conflicted feelings, what does he do? And that's why I'm so sad that, I really feel like that's a really interesting call. And I could see it going, I can see him having zero conflict and, killing Griffith, or feeling really conflicted and then doing it anyway, or feeling really conflicted and deciding against it. Like, there are really three, I really want to know what Miura's. I just want to know. Like, you could write that out in a sentence. I just want to know, what Miura's plan was, because to me that informs the series as a whole. Like, that would change my feeling about the entire series if I knew how it was supposed to end. If I knew what that state was, even if I don't know how it happened, I don't even care. I just want to know what. So I hope we get that answer at some point. I think we will.
Yeah, we should.
Sure.
Yeah.
I hope.
But to me, that's the big open question. And then there are other questions like, what Casca's, same thing from Casca. Like, does she, because if anything, she was, arguably at least just as victimized as Guts, if not more.
Well, more, I would say.
You could definitely say more. You couldn't say less.
No,
Right.
no.
definitely at least as probably more. It's a moot point. That's a moot point. But
Yeah.
is she going to forgive Griffith? Is she going to go to Falcone and be like, well, yeah, sucked for me, but this is great. With Disneyland, right? I don't know. That'd be interesting.
She might just say, ooh. That's
Well,
all she's saying these days.
I'm assuming she gets fixed.
Yeah.
Like she regains her prior mentality, but knows what happened, which isn't necessarily what's going to happen in the story. But but if we assume that, what would Casca say? And then, if we would expect Casca to say no, Griffith still needs to pay, then we should assume that Guts would have the equal right or almost equal right to say the same thing.
Mm.
But again, I don't know what Miura's plan was. I really do want to know. Yeah. One of these days.
Yeah.
Like in 7 years, maybe.
Yeah, but it might even be. I'm trying to think. It might even be more easy for the direct victim to forgive a person that did harm to them compared to a person that's close to the direct victim, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm thinking, it seems like that has happened more. I've read more of the first than the second, I guess. Or like if I put myself in their shoes, that's how I feel.
If Casca forgives Griffith, then she's saying, I'm the one to suffer the most, but I'm willing to see that it was for a greater good, so I forgive you. If Guts forgives him, then Guts is saying, I see how much you did to Casca, but I'm okay with that. And that somehow
true.
That is less okay, right? Because really, he was never that pissed about his eye and hand. Like, I wasn't happy. But he was more upset about what happened to Casca. So he can't forgive Griffith because that would be excusing what was done to someone else.
Yeah.
But she could. I'm not saying she should or would, but she could. And you'd be like, that's very noble of you. Like, hurrah. But that's a good point. That's not the same thing.
I mean, Casca, like, the sacrifice maybe, let's say that Guts and Casca agree that this was for a greater good, but the rape wasn't necessary. I don't think that wasn't necessary for ascension. So
unless how he knew the future, and he knew that he needed that sort of weird fetus thing to go into the egg to be reincarnated. I don't know if he could see it, but yeah.
Or it's just a side effect. He comes out. He knew that was part of the process. Collateral damage.
No clue.
I'd like to see Casca ask Griffith these questions. That would be that would be super. I don't know that we're ever going to get that, but restored Casca.
Yeah.
Casca's not.
Yeah, I'd like a Casca Griffith confrontation, like the Rickard Griffith confrontation. He got slapped by Rickard.
Yeah, I think that's one of the more famous panels of Rickard slapping Griffith.
It's fair.
It's very epic.
Yeah.
It is. That was pretty satisfying. Although due to the height difference, I feel like it may have been not a very tight slap.
No, but wasn't Rickard at the top of the arch of a bridge and Griffith slightly below? I think.
Was the slap sufficiently tight?
Yeah.
The name of the podcast episode. Sufficiently tight slap.
One tight slap. There used to be an MTV show in India called One Tight Slap.
Indians like their slapping. I feel like there's a lot of slapping in Indian movies.
Yeah. The very famous meme.
That's
how can she slap?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know that too. I think my husband showed it to me a few months ago.
It's pretty old.
How can she?
I think. But yeah. It's but yeah, that was pretty cool. The whole part with Griffith and the and them having a tea party, I guess. At this point, it's getting a bit, how do I say, is it a bit too sickly sweet, sort of? You know, it's too like, okay, I get it. Right? I don't know, like you're resurrecting all these people sort of for a second to give them back, to give farewells to their loved ones. I don't know. And then there's the whole thing with the seer being jealous of the queen. I'm like, is that going somewhere? I don't think so, but
I mean, she's got cartoon faces on. It's not going anywhere.
Well, it'd be interesting, right? Like, let's say she did something to Charlotte. What would Griffith's reaction be? Like, how harsh or not harsh, right? Like, that's sort of there are possible interesting things it could show us. Locust trying to get Ricker killed shows us something. It shows that Griffith's inner circle doesn't think. They still think there are weaknesses in the system, or there are holes in the, like, they don't think it's done. They don't think things are finished. Because if things were done, no reason to kill Rickard. What's he going to do? But they tried to kill Rickard. What do you guys think of the Bakiraka coming back and looking like a player again?
Bakiraka are the assassins.
The guys with muscles on their heads?
Yeah, okay.
I love those guys. It's my favorite part of the comic.
And fingers.
The big knuckles.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, we can't hear. Steve, you're muted.
No, I was just mentioning that I thought it was funny they put him in a stable. Like, you guys sit here and stay out of the way.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, did he turn a lot of like very dangerous feeling characters into a bit of like some clowny? Did he add a clowny aspect to them? Because like the two Bakiraka, for instance, the muscled ones, they like the scene that Steve was talking about, where they got sent into the stable and they were whining to each other about like how that sucks for them, but it's okay, this is our lot in life. And then and then the witch woman, who was like objectively dangerous seeming before, now she's a clown with that weird face and demanding the third helping of tea, either to be annoying or because she likes the tea and doesn't want to admit it. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, like, a bit of a clowny aspect was added to some of these characters. I don't know if it's new and we haven't seen it before, or if he was just messing around in this volume.
I feel like we're getting set up to think of them as potential allies to Guts, right? That this is a force that is not just. I mean, they're definitely not just like Griffith worshippers. Right, the High Sorcerer isn't. The Bakiraka certainly aren't. Like, they're all like wary, and you know what's going to make us sympathetic towards them. Whining about, oh, I'm stuck in the stable again. You get sympathetic towards them. Right? That's like a simple trick. So I think we're meant to shift our view of them as potentially dangerous enemies. But he's been working this for a while. Yeah. He did it also by showing us that they were not blindly allegiant to the Emperor. To Kanishka, whatever his name is. Yeah. Right? So that transition's been worked for a long time. I'm really curious if he intended it from their first appearance. I'll never know. But
I don't think so. Because if you think like the Bakiraka leader first appearance, he was just like some arrogant mercenary or whatever, or like duelist. And then the second one too, he didn't have any redeeming qualities in this first one. They were just like assassins. And then at some point, we start seeing them as like, you know, we get their backstory. It flips a little bit, like the way they're being portrayed, like the feeling. I feel between the Golden Age sort of part and the after part. So I think around that time, to me, it feels like he started thinking about them possibly doing something else.
Makes sense.
But even like the wizard guy, right? We saw when he was during the battle, we saw him being like somewhat noble sometimes, and like being not like a straight up villain, right?
Yeah.
Not being portrayed like a villain.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the Bakiraka, when they found out about where the like the monster men were being made, they were like upset. So definitely by then they were being set up as not like a third player, like not so evil.
But before, if you remember, if we were just a random assassin killing anyone the king wanted, so
Yeah. Do you think Griffith
fight with what's his name? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna. You mentioned Charlotte earlier. Does Griffin care about Charlotte? It seems like that was just a power, like a play. It didn't seem like there was, at least at the time when it started, it didn't seem like there was any. It just seemed like that was a means to an end. It didn't. I don't know if he really cared for her. It was more just an opportunity. Like she was a door for him.
But does he need her now? Like, does he really need her? I don't know.
It seems like she gives him some legitimacy or some, I don't know.
I don't think he needs her politically. I think he needs her as part of his self-concept. Like to be the golden, shining leader boy that he wants to be, the princess has to love him.
True.
Right? It's like guys who need a trophy wife. Right? Where it's part of their self-concept that this very attractive woman is their wife. They don't really care. Right? But that's, and to me, everything Griffith is getting is, I want this, I want everyone in the country to worship, almost not worship me, but not really worship me, right? Like, but in that way that we worship like a king. He wants to be the king, and the king has to have the princess madly in love with him. Like that's part of the deal, I think.
That makes sense.
He's got the Pope thinking he's great.
Yeah, the Pope drank the Kool-Aid.
Pope drank the all in on the Kool-Aid.
And the tea.
Oh.
It's one of the more annoying ones, I think, the Pope. It's a bit like, I don't know. Yeah. Like the character seems a bit too like, it goes from being this guy, which is just a random guy put in position of Pope, not want to do his job, and now he's like a saint. I don't know.
Well, he's become a true believer, right? Where he clearly was.
I guess.
And that's one of the interesting things about the scenario, right? All of a sudden, all the magic is real. Everyone's got to like reconsider they're not exploring that side of things too much, but it's there.
True.
No.
Right.
Then we got the scarecrows.
How's Guts going to slash his way through those? And should he?
He'll find a way.
I'm sure it will be pretty easy. I don't know. I mean, they can just rebuild them if they need to rebuild them. Just scarecrows, doesn't matter, right? Yeah, I mean, we've seen it before when we were going to the cottage of the forest witch and they started destroying her golems. Right?
Yeah. That's true.
It might be the same.
That's kind of how he solves every problem, though, right? He just slashes through his problems.
And even admitted to that in this volume. He says, I just know how to hack through things. You guys with your magic and your healing helped me get here. I don't know, did it feel like Miura was being a bit nostalgic in this volume, at least in the last bit? Or because there's that random backstory. And it ended with, and that was the original prologue of Berserk.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Oh, was that here?
Yeah. Puck's his little page or so of backstory is how he ended up there.
Yeah. Except whatever that book is, it's not going to be called Berserk because, well, maybe Puck goes berserk being silly.
Yeah. Now they're gonna try to take over the Elf Kingdom, right?
Oh my god, that brother's coming on par with Isidro for how annoying he is. That's just there for comic effect. What is the purpose of that? I will take over this elf kingdom now.
Yeah. It's just so ridiculous, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could have been fun if he was actually a bad guy and actually conspiring or doing, it could have been interesting. But
yeah, he's just gonna look
obviously.
silly. What was the deal he was trying to take? Oh, he was gonna plant Puck as the
Yes.
king, and then what?
I don't know.
Loot them for their natural resources.
And he's
I guess.
yeah.
Profit.
Doesn't sound like a well thought out plan.
No.
Mm-mm.
But I guess we're along for the ride. I'm sure we'll get more comic relief with those guys, some more with Isidro, some more with Isidro covering Shirke, all this stuff we're expecting. But yeah, I'll just gloss over it.
Is this how manga typically did comedy? Pick one thread and then like hack at it over and over again, kind of like the Isidro Hegi being jealous of Shiarka. That's comedy, and then Puck pretending to be Isidro's teacher. That was another one. And the thing is, I didn't find. Well, I enjoyed Puck's humor in the beginning. It was interesting how it worked with Guts, but here it's just him being silly on Isidro's level, and I don't like Isidro, so yeah, it feels like the humor is the same, just variations on a theme. And I guess my larger question is like, is that how manga do it in general, or was that this particular author?
Well, that's how episodic media does it in general, right? If you think about sitcoms, it's usually the same, mostly of the same joke repeated again and again and again, right? Because you get like one every week or every 2 weeks, so you just, that's how it works, I guess.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I don't know. But different authors do it differently, obviously,
I mean, Puck worked better as Guts's. Puck, they were better as a duo. They were funnier. They were funnier and more interesting. It was actually a really good dynamic, and the funny part is we didn't get it for very long. Like you can also almost imagine like an alternative universe where it's like Puck and Guts on their own through the whole storyline. And never picking up Shirka or any of the others. Maybe Puck levels up or something, but that's not the way he did it. But you could see like the dynamic of those two from those first three volumes making a series.
Yeah.
It would be different,
Could it?
But I don't think Puck is good with it without that. It has to be him and Guts on their own. That works. Puck without that dynamic isn't interesting or funny, or he's just there.
Yeah, he's enabling Isidro. It's not funny anymore.
No, sorry to interrupt. No, just could a character like Guts carry a series like this? And would even him and the duo with Puck, would they be able to carry and bring this much into the world through those two characters? I don't know that Guts is dynamic enough, I guess. You'd have to change Guts
but I feel you could do character. It with having our characters just not do what the other character here are doing, but not have them permanent additions. Have them like for just specific arcs, and just have arcs talking about certain things, right? And focusing on certain aspects. I feel, I don't know. But I guess to what you were saying before, Varsha, I think the difference from what was before was that the humor from Puck was contextualized in what's happening, and Guts was reacting to it because it was, and now it's Puck saying its own thing on the side, which doesn't matter. No one is reacting to it, or its own, or him doing it with Isidro, but it doesn't matter for anything. It's just their own separate thing. So it's not relevant to the story. It's not, and also right? Because you have usually in the comedy you have the funny guy and the straight man, or in Japanese the boke and the tsukomi, and that's guts, and there would be fun. But if you have two funny guys, it's a different type of comedy. But I don't know, it doesn't fit into the narrative, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, unless there are like huge Isidro fans, that almost feels like just something that you you have to really like the two comedians to enjoy anything about that subthread in the humor. I think I don't know how what's the general community feeling around Isidro. Do you guys know?
I don't know. Let me see. I'm trying to find if there's like a Berserk popularity poll, because sometimes Japanese manga do polls with their readers, and at the end of a book there's like questionnaires that you can send back. I don't know if now they do it online, maybe. But anyways, sometimes they do it like for specific mangas, and it's like, oh, rank your favorite characters. Right? I'm trying to figure out if there's one for Berserk that they did.
I've seen way more toys of Skeletor than I have of Puck, and Puck's on the page a lot more. I'm not sure Puck toys would be great anyway, unless they were plushies. But
I think Skeletor is very mysterious, and he always, whenever he's there, it's always a moment that whenever he's around. So maybe that's why people like him. And he's Skeletor. So,
well, I found the poll on Reddit. I don't know if it's a subset of people, I guess. But Isidro is ranked 20, below people like Slan, Void, below the Penis Demon, about the same rank as the Weird Horse from.
God.
Yeah. The rank of random NPCs and random characters that happen.
Wait, the horse that was possessed and tried to like.
He's ranked 23.
Oh God. Wow. Okay.
I'd pick the horse over there. Yeah.
So it's not just us.
Yeah. I mean, Griffith is ranked 14 here, just below Farnese. He's like the last of the main characters, Griffith. So
Fair.
Yeah, Skull Knight is number 2. Good for him.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a random Reddit poll. Some thousand people, but
Sounds about right, though.
Sounds about right.
But it feels like we know what the next little bit of the story is going to have to look like, right? I think. Right? They've got to go to the. They're not going to like get defeated by the Scarecrow and die. They're going to make it onto Elf Island. They're going to explore it. They're going to get help for Casca. It's going to work or not work.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then meanwhile, Griffith's going to keep building Falconia. And the Bakiraka are the loose bit of plot. They're going to presumably not. They and the High Sorcerer are going to either work against Griffith or just be there to potentially work against him. Like we know where we're going. That's how it felt to me. Like we're not there yet, but we know what the next bit's gonna. We know the framework.
Mm.
I think.
Yeah, but we don't know what's going to happen. Even if Casca comes back, what's going to happen after?
Right.
That's a big question, I guess.
That's the big question. You know, what is she going to have to say about anything?
Do you think they'll be able to heal her? Or do you think they'll say, well, nothing we can do?
They have to.
They have to.
Right? I mean, you can't come all this way and all these years of waiting, and then they like, we can't do it.
Try the next island.
Yeah.
Let me refer you a specialist.
It's the Elf Kink. This is the island of weird sex. No, you want the other island. You're misspelling on your map.
Yeah.
Let's hope not.
Hopefully. No, I would imagine there's. I don't know how much longer. Do we know how much longer this story's gonna go on? Because it does seem like things are starting to converge. It does seem like things are, like, we're seeing characters from before kind of being rolled back into the story. So it does feel like there's a momentum to at least, soonish kind of things will be wrapped up. But I'm not sure what the plan is.
Wait until you read like volume 40 and 41, and then ask the same question.
Yeah.
Because we have to see if we seem closer to an end or farther away at that point. Because things always, it's not always linear.
Yeah.
So Miura said around chapter 300, which right now we're at chapter 350. 300 was about 70% done. So 30% would be about another 130 chapters, I think. And right now we're at 375. So it would be a lot of chapters if that's correct. But that's based on Miura's timeline. And now that he's not, they might be just like, well, we don't know all the details. We only know the major story plot, so we'll just do that. So it might be shorter. So I'm thinking.
I'm also not super confident that Miura understood pacing that well. I could be wrong. But sometimes I feel like I'm reading this and I'm like, this shouldn't have taken this long, or this took longer than it should have. I don't know. I'm just being cranky.
Yeah, kind of like the little side quests we go on, like the 3 volumes we had of pirates, and kind of we did get the mer people, but it seemed kind of like a long detour. So you wonder if he was in a hurry or if he thought he had a lot more time to go. It kind of seemed like filler. And when you're releasing when your releases are that far apart, it kind of surprised me, because if you're waiting for years and you're you're dealing with pirates for like, but I think you guys mentioned like several years, you wonder, he must not have been too much. There must be a whole lot more, or he was under pressure to stretch things out or something. I don't know if that's a thing or not.
I found an interview where the guy that's doing it now says it will end within the next 10 years. He didn't say more than that. Just within the next 10 years. Oh God.
How frequent are the releases now? Is it a chapter a month?
It used to be a chapter a month for a part of last year, and then there was another break from like last September or something, or October.
I mean, the new team has not released much.
They've released
like 2 or 3 chapters.
I know. I thought they released like 10. I thought. Do you remember when?
75. That's the new team.
I don't know when he starts. Wait. Trying to figure out. May 6, 2021. What's from May 6, 2021 then? 1518. Okay, so it's about 10 chapters.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe a bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, like 14 chapters.
364 and a half is the tribute to Miura.
Yeah. But we don't know if he was doing much in the previous ones, I guess. I don't know. Well, I guess, probably. Okay. Well, anyways, we did about 14 chapters in 4 years. Is that correct?
Oh, they've been releasing for 4 years? I didn't...
Well, chapter 365 came out in 2022. 3 years, I guess. Yeah, about 3 years.
Oh.
Okay, well, it's not, yeah.
Oh, I thought for some reason they only started publishing the new chapters since we've been talking. Like it started around the same time, I thought, but maybe they had been going already for a while.
I think they started in 2022, I feel.
We've been doing this for 4 years, though, haven't we?
Yeah, because there's a jump between 10 September 2022 and like June 2022, so like almost a year, but yeah. And then it's been a year since we started. I think.
Yeah. Is that end of 2022, I think? Yeah.
Since we started, I think 5 chapters were released.
Okay. So they already had 9 chapters.
Something like that. Just, yeah, I guess, well, this is what we can expect, I guess. Probably. Unless we start getting into gear. Which I don't see why they wouldn't, because I don't think the studio is working on anything else, but maybe the people are working on different things. They're part of different studios, probably, or other projects.
I'm not sure that they're... I would imagine that they're probably... It's probably... would they want to stretch it out to sell more copies, or would it be better to shorten it? And I don't know.
Would it sell more copies? Oh, you mean like padding the story? Oh, okay. Maybe.
Do you think people would be inclined to a lot more anger towards the new writers if they go on side quests like Miura did, or would they be okay with?
I mean, people are pretty salty of Miura doing it, so.
Oh, okay.
I guess would they run the risk of losing readers if they take too long? I mean, if you've been on the train this long, I mean, are you going to jump off now, or is it?
Well, you're losing readers because they're all dying.
Yeah.
Because it's been 30 years.
Yeah.
You know, more biological way of losing readers than just losing interest.
I've been reading Berserk over half my life.
Yeah. About correct.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah, I mean, same thing is happening for like, Game of Thrones and other things. Possibly, it's like, well, Game of Thrones is more like he'll die before.
Yeah.
He gets to write the next one, but it's still like sort of.
I was into it in the late '90s when the Berserk anime was released in English. That's late '90s, so.
That's wild.
We'll see. Maybe next time we should just read a manga that's already finished, so we know for sure that.
Naruto.
Is it finished?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I never read it.
Naruto's finished. It's a complete story. Like it makes sense, and then but it's like there's a sequel series about like the next generation.
Okay.
Very consistent, which is very consistent with the tone of the whole thing. Because it's like this ninja village. There are generations. Like the characters are all kids, but they like their parents are active ninjas. Like there's this feeling of generationality through the manga. So the idea that there'd be another generation of like their kids doing stuff always seemed appropriate. But the Naruto story reaches a culmination. I think he's in the sequel series as like a side character. The same way the leader of the village is a side character in Naruto story. He's there. I don't think but it's very much like not his story anymore.
Okay.
So I really like Naruto. People are like very excited about One Piece in a way that I feel Naruto deserves a little more of that love, and it doesn't get it. And I'm kind of curious. I keep seeing lists more and more. I see people list like anime that they think or manga they think people should read, and Naruto's not on there, but like other stuff. I'm like, why are we missing this guy anyway? That's me. I'm
in my mind, all the long shonens are all never finished because I never managed to finish one of them. So in my mind, they're all still going on. Well, a lot of them are still going on.
I mean, Naruto's 70 volumes or so.
Wow.
So something like that. So,
Yeah.
so finishing it is it's a chore. It's not trivial.
It's too much for me. Even Berserk, it's pretty long for me. I usually stay within the the handful of volumes sort of stories.
Mm.
That could be why it's not on the list, because it's 70 volumes. Is it
One
really?
Piece is a lot longer. I think it's
Yeah.
100 volumes or something.
Bleach is also...
Nothing's going to be much longer than that, though. I mean, there's a limit. You really only get 50, you really can only do 5 volumes a year because they're all the long ones are published in weeklies.
Yeah, Bleach is 74 volumes. How long is Dragon Ball? I don't know. Pretty long, I think.
It's pretty long, and then Dragon Ball Super, I think, is a different team. I don't think it's Toriyama, so that has other stuff. I don't think I've read Dragon Ball.
I don't think I've read it either. But,
I've seen it. Love
Dragon Ball is only 42 volumes.
Yeah.
It's about what we've read for Berserk.
But Dragon Ball Super, which is actually pretty good and doesn't quite follow the anime, I don't think that's counted in those 42. So there's it's not a ton more. It's not a lot.
I don't know.
Letting Dan do all the heavy lifting here.
No, it's only 22 with Dragon Ball Super. But it's still ongoing, so...
Yeah.
That's I guess if you add them together.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's 64 volumes. That's ballpark where Naruto and Bleach are.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. To me, once it starts getting too long, like you start having a lot of padding in and a lot of retreading the same ground. Like it's hard. I've from what I've seen most of the time, I just stop paying interest when I'm like, okay, well, I've seen this before many times.
There's a time skip in Naruto, and everything after the time skip I found good but less good. And I would often suggest if you really want, if you read to the time skip, I think you'll get what makes me love that series.
Okay.
You can get the gist of it, and then if you really want to, keep going, but you don't have to. That's me. And then the time skip is represented in the anime but the anime is even worse with filler. So is Dragon Ball.
Oh, okay.
The manga have a lot less filler, but the anime, to pad out the episode count, has a lot of filler. A lot of beach scenes and side quests and guys grunting for no reason.
Yeah. Well, it's also a way of making the episodes cheaper, right? You have less frames, you reuse the same frames, and you have less to do less voice actor and stuff like that. And that's why anime is so popular, because it's so quick to make and so cheap to make compared to conventional animation, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I prefer something I can read multiple times and see different things because it's very dense, instead of like having one very long one where I don't read it multiple times, but there's, I guess, more things happening. That's just my preference. Maybe because I get distracted.
Yeah.
Rereads our whole thing.
This was, I'm surprised that Berserk is so popular the way it is. That it's been 30 years and people still are coming into it. Like, Varsha and I are coming into it from, so it's a little crazy that because a lot of people stay away from, some people stay away from like longer series that aren't finished, but doesn't seem to deter people from Berserk.
I can't think of anything like Berserk that is like that. Like unfinished, very long series, still widely regarded.
Isn't One Piece like that?
But it's ongoing. Like he comes out with a chapter a week. Like he may take a here and there, but it's not a lot. He's very prolific. So
and and there's anime coming out all the time too. So I think the situation is a bit different.
It
Berserk
stays
had
in
long
the
breaks
people's
long
consciousness.
before Miura died.
Yes,
that's true.
But
famous for that.
One Piece is clockwork, man. There's like 50 chapters a year. He may have taken a break here and there, but it's not a lot. It just keeps trucking on.
Yeah.
50.
That's getting a lot of love. That's the standard, right?
Wow.
Now, for the shonen ones, like not Berserk, that was in a different publication, but the shonen ones, it's like I think 20-page chapters, I think, and it's a chapter a week. They go out in Shonen Jump, which is a weekly like phone book sized publication, and it has like I don't know 10 stories in it or whatever, and that's your format, and then they collect them in the Tenkabon. I think it's every 10 weeks, although some of them might do
like
8.
that.
But it's something like 10. So you get 5 volumes a year, 50 volumes, 50 chapters, 5 volumes roughly, and that's the standard for the shonen stuff, for the kid stuff.
And that's why you get stuff like we were talking before, like repetition or like simplifying of certain characters, because you need to churn them out fast, right? It's a lot of work. So you just spend a lot of time with important stuff, and then you pad it out with other things a lot of time, depending on your schedule. But if you have a schedule like Joe said, which is once a week, it's pretty hard.
What type of manga is Berserk? Is it
No.
not shonen?
Shonen means boys. Shonen means for boys. So like shonen
young
manga,
adult, right?
Young adult, yeah.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, but you're not going to have like the rapes and the nipples and the much less gratuitous nudity, much less sexual violence or no sexual violence. More of the like humor, generally speaking, more of the humorous stuff that you guys don't like the silly faces. It's like YA, but not the same.
Yeah.
There are differences.
Yeah.
And there are themes that go across the category, which is super interesting. Like the importance of friendship, usually young protagonists, but not always.
Yeah, a lot of manga structured on like arcs, like very defined arcs, right? Or stuff like tournament arcs. That's very common, right? School environments, obviously.
A lot of school. Yeah, exactly. A lot of big arcs. So like One Piece isn't just 100 volumes, but like every few volumes is like a story.
Yes.
Like we are at this island fighting this pirate gang. This is like there are 7 volumes or whatever, and they're not consistent. It's not like every 7 volumes is a thing. It's however long it takes. So that's all pretty standard.
Protagonists that need to defeat their enemies through the power of friendship and or overcoming their inner limitations or something, and then a lot of enemies becoming friends once they get defeated. Very common tropes.
Yeah, the enemies becoming friends is big, where the bad guy from the first 10 volumes ends up being his best friend and saving the day many times later, powering up along with him. It's all very standard.
You like it?
I like that trope.
No, it's good. I like it. I use it. I like it too. But
yeah, I think Rage of Dragons did a particularly nice version of it.
I mean, it's super. You see it so much in Dragon Ball. That was
true.
I don't know that's where it was invented, but that's where I saw it. That's where I saw it first. But it's always like Piccolo is the big bad guy, and then Piccolo ends up being like the mentor to his kid and everything, all through that series. Naruto does it a ton. The guys he defeats in tournaments end up being his allies in later fights. Hunter x Hunter does it some, but not as much because Hunter x Hunter is right at the shonen.
Oh, Hunter x Hunter is another one that's not finished, and that's never going to be finished, which is also widely regarded, now that you mention it.
It is. People don't talk about it in this country as much. I think it's widely regarded by the manga community, but it hasn't bled out the way One Piece has. One Piece is now, I see it on all over BookTube.
How long is Hunter x Hunter?
Manga people. They read like 3 manga, and one of them is One Piece. Hunter x Hunter, I have not seen that. I really like
Hunter. Only 37 volumes.
I really like Hunter x Hunter. It's much more on the adult end of that shonen scale. Like the much more morally gray main characters, people die, and the vicious stuff happens, which is kind of true in Naruto, but less. It's all a continuum.
But that's shonen, and then there's shoujo, which is young girl. And there's seinen, which is more adult. for men, and there's josei, which is more adult for women. That's the 4 main, I guess, types of manga.
Yeah, but you can tell by where they're published too, right?
Yes.
Like Shonen Jump will have shonens, which makes sense. Like it's an anthology, so it's going to be for a particular audience. And then, so like Berserk was never in Shonen Jump, like that was never going to happen.
Yeah, but that's something that's very. I guess if you're reading more manga, you'll realize the manga industry and the anime industry is very organized and sort of like not segregated, but like very classified. It's like, okay, if you're doing this, you need to do this, and most of the time you need to follow these tropes, you need to do these things, and there's a specific pathway to be able to get an anime, and then you get one season of an anime, possibly it doesn't even finish the story, just does a little bit, maybe you will get another one, but it's all there's very distinct steps that if you read in the background you need to take. Not the Wild West. It's very. That's why I guess it's very efficient because it just publishes a lot. It's a well-oiled machine, but it's not good for creators because it puts a lot of stress on deadlines and getting things published, and also a lot of the people that draw the anime and manga, most of it is drawn by assistants, and they get paid nothing. It's but it's seen as a stepping stone to be able to some point to become your own author. But it's sort of like, you'll do an not unpaid, very lowly paid internship, and at some point you can get a better position. Yeah. Extremely long hours, working through the night.
Yeah. It's unpredictable too, right? Like how long something might take. I'm sure you get a sense of it, but I imagine it's something like coding. You have a general idea, but sometimes it takes like 5 times
You
more.
you get something get into Shonen Jump, and you're not guaranteed to stay there, right? If you become less popular, they move you to the back of the volume, and then they boot you. We're not publishing you anymore, and then you're done.
True.
So, I mean, there are people who are confident they'll still be there in a year, but there aren't that many of those.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like One Piece isn't going anywhere, but you pick up a volume of Shonen Jump, most of those people have very little long-term security.
There's several mangas I've read that they're not that popular. Maybe I like them, or maybe I don't like them, but they get axed at some point, so they get cut. And they tell you usually maybe 2 issues in advance, so you're like, okay, your manga's gonna finish. You need to finish the story now. And you can read it, and you're like, he did not want to end it like this. He needed more developing, but he was just forced to do it because the story was going to end.
Wow.
Oh, it's interesting that they give them time to finish the story. It's not like, okay, we're done on this issue. But it's still, like if you've built up for 10, if you've planned 10 and you have to condense into 2, that's insane.
Yeah. It happens all for the less popular mangas, I guess. Depending where they're published, I guess. Mm-hmm. There's also very good, what was it called? Is it Bakuman? Joe, do you know? The one that's, it just pretty much is shonen about manga writers and all the stuff that goes on with back, with some romance and other stories to keep it interesting. But it's got a lot of just straight information on how they did the whole timeline, schedules, assistants, all those things.
I don't know. I haven't read a lot of manga in the last 5 years.
Okay. I don't know when it came out, but it's the same guy that did. Wait, it's a famous author. It's the guy that did. What did he do? Death Note. It's the guy that did Death Note after he did Bakuman.
I like Death Note, but nah. I didn't love it. Other people love Death Note. Death Note is very.
It's another one of the famous ones, right?
That's got one story arc, and then it's got a different arc after, and then it precipitous drop off. According to many people, right? So it's one of those where people are like, oh, the first 10 those, and then.
But it's pretty short. It's like 12 volumes. It's fairly.
Yeah.
I think it is one of the best-selling ones of all time. I think.
Death Note,
yeah.
there was a Netflix TV show called Kotaro Lives Alone, which I love very, 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 very much. One of the main characters was a mangaka, but that was it.
He didn't go into his background.
But it's not being. So, I mean, he has an editor who gets made fun of a lot in the show, but mostly, yeah, he doesn't meet deadlines. He he gets yelled at for not meeting deadlines, so like not doing the thing that the editor wants him to do, and so on. But I guess one of the threads is like how Kotaro helps him get his shit back together, but and we didn't see too deep into the manga world, but then it was just the one season. I think it was just based on the first volume of the manga. I wonder if we go into more detail afterwards. It doesn't have a translation to English, so I'm very disappointed that I can't read it.
There's no online translation of the manga.
I couldn't find it, but I also don't know where to look.
I think I found it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Up to chapter 158. Yeah.
Yes.
I can send you the link.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll send it to you on the Patreon forum.
Okay, thanks.
So we're getting close to the end. What, 3 more to go? 4 more to go? Something like that?
Yeah.
3? Wow.
3, right? Yeah. We did 38.
And then we switched to a yearly schedule.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we'll see how many of us survive the journey to the end.
Yeah. It might be.
I don't know, man. I'm getting old. Outlook not good.
Yeah.
Oh, if it's only 10 years, we should all survive 10 years, hopefully.
If I make it 10 more years, I'll outlive my dad.
We'll
hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
No, but
we'll make
no
it.
guarantees.
So, in the meantime, until next time, Dan, where can people find you?
Patreon forum.
And
DN517.
and Varsha.
You can find me on the Patreon forum too, and also on the YouTube channel Reading by the Rady Mountain. And the About page has links to some podcasts that might be interesting to you if you like SFF discussions.
And Joe.
I'm on the forum occasionally. You can go to my website, jcmburn.com, or Twitter at joeburn1, and my Patreon at jcmburn. And that's it. That's good enough. That's not it. I'm sure I'm somewhere else. I'm addicted to social media, but those are the important ones.
It's a thing. But yeah, so we'll go and witness Joe win Twitter. Maybe we'll do it again.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. So until next time, we'll talk to everyone soon.
Bye, guys.